to be fair, none of us knew he was thinking Harlequin at the time.
Okay, yeah. I like I said, I just felt like I just want to be caught up in the loop. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, no worries,
way,
no worries. I totally get that.
I'm pretty sure I want to... You go ahead. No,
nah, I can do something in the background while I wait for the thing to start
up. Basically, while him Sponge like commissioned art of that before, and I want to play a Psyker, and was like, I'll give you a power sword if you do that.
Oh, by the way, we are live.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going, everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is session. This is
I
session
haven't
3.
I haven't really gotten a chance to show you guys this, so I'm going to send you guys a screenshot capture of this real quick. But we have a new overlay that I was working on in the midst of last stream. I showed it at the very end, but it is still pretty new. It's basically showing off all of the ruin, glory, and wrath for all of our characters and whatnot. So this is the cinematic version. I still need to update it for the fact that we've reset for today.
Yeah. We're up to 4 ruin, no glory, and everyone's got 2 wrath points except for Holtz, who's got 3 because he re-ranked up. So.
Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah,
That actually
but
looks really good.
We should probably mention really quickly what we got in terms of XP, or what we bought. I got nothing.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought Touched by Fate, which is exactly why I have 1 more wrath point than everyone else, which is really nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
And
I
did you
forget what
buy
the
anything
fuck I
different?
got, if anything at all. And I'm also working on fixing this overload, so give me a second to think.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually wound up getting anything with that. I didn't think I was able to get anything that I actually wanted, so...
I had
I was
13
like-
experience points, so the 12 gave me like just what I needed for that.
Yeah, I was short of getting anything good in Orky, so I passed this time around.
Makes sense. Is there any like announcements or anything, or are we gonna jump into it?
Oh yeah, let me just do a hello everyone, welcome back to Wrath and Glory on Unlucky Rolls. One thing I will mention that is very important because it is new to this. We discussed it a little bit last time and everyone in the party was alright with it. We have a means by which chat can influence the game a little bit. So overall, control of the game and our ability to do what we want to do and whatnot is still definitely within our hands. But you guys can influence our pool of available resources, so to say. What I mean by this is that, as of right now, using basically tips as a means of supporting the channel as well, you can give our group glory, you can give the GM ruin, or you can replenish wrath points for our characters when we use it. So
Right on.
that's some fun stuff. In case it wasn't obvious, that is basically exactly what happens in Warhams. I definitely recommend you check out that series as well, which has concluded actually.
Yeah, so if you think that the party is doing too well, donate in for some extra ruin points for me, and I can put some extra insane narrative elements in for ruin points. That'd be fun.
Hey, look, Warhams has ended, so we cannot be called copycat.
I mean, no, we are 100% copycats, but at the same time, I don't feel bad about it because it's a good idea and imitation, the sincerest form of flattery. Shut up. Anyway.
Yeah. And also, I need to mention the one time we accidentally cocked Warhams because of our animation.
Oh yeah.
You guys keep going on about that.
It's funny.
I know it is, but shut up. Basically, we accidentally delayed one of the Warhams animations because we commissioned Magnifical ourselves.
Oh, that's funny. That's how you truly beat the competition.
Yeah.
Like,
totally
it's like Amazon
unintended.
style,
Anyway, funny shit. We should go back to the game now.
Yeah, so let's talk about the game. So last time you all made it out of this like weird trap in time with a strange artifact that you've been able to plug into your warp drive, which has allowed Sator to actually see ahead of the ship in the warp, even on the dark side of the Imperium, which I don't have to tell you is an incredible ability. The ship itself is heavily damaged and being repaired in an orky style, which is not really helping, especially with the Mechanicus on board. The Mechanicus are they're revolting against the system, and they're constantly having to like re-repair all of the orky repairs in their own way. But I think Gizmek is like ahead of them and is putting in orky panels where they do not belong to be. So you sort of have like two different repair crews that are trying to repair each other's work on board. And it's getting a little out of control. The ship is currently traveling at like half normal speed, so it's taking even longer to get to Gilead than it should, because of all this damage that's been done. Also, all of your guys' like ships and fleets and cronies on your other ships have all been destroyed, and like all your great artifacts on board the Blackstone have been destroyed, and Blackstar, sorry.
No, you got it right. You got it right.
Nope, it's Blackstone.
Blackstone. Yeah, Blackstone. Yeah. So we're gonna kick the first session off with the ship coming out of warp in Gilead. You guys are basically on the bridge. You have Captain Holtz and all of his command crew there, and he wants all of his lieutenants present. It's Gilead without an N. Gilead. Sorry.
I didn't typo. Woo.
And yeah, so all the lieutenants are there for this grand event. You guys come out of the warp portal, and as you're doing so, what's the name of that like woman who's like your assistant, Holtz? I forget her name.
Wanderer. Yes.
Wanderer.
Yes. That's how I will say that's how she introduced herself to Holtz, and if she has another name, no one knows it, not even Holtz. But
okay, so Wanderer is currently giving you guys like a what would be the thing? Like a briefing on the system, right? 'Cause she's got all of her notes set up. So she's just talking about how the planet there's like I don't know, something like 7 planets or 8 planets in this system. And this is a major protocol. Every single planet in this system is like a major like hub of activity. There's a ancient forge world, which is sort of like the first planet in the system. They have a massive shipyard, and they have these really interesting like old world tech engines that are run on solar energy. You could see like Bitbug like drooling as he listens to this briefing on Avarkus. The next system is sort of like a mining world for Avarkus, but it's like a death world with like lots of macro fauna, and so there's like a night chapter present there that basically protect the miners from the macrofauna. Then there's Primus, which is a hive world with quadrillions of citizens and lots of manufacturing as well. And so on and on and on, lots of different places. There's like a shrine world, things like that. You guys aren't really paying attention. She's sort of just blobbing off into the background, basically, in your mind. Finally she says there's Charbidian, which is another hive world. It's like an ocean world where all of the hives are sort of like floating in the ocean, and they are like a major like food hub. They basically like package up fish. Like there's like tons of fishing on that planet. And that's also where the Psyker prison Iron Watch is. But that's all she has in her notes on Carbidian.
Okay.
So you guys come out of the portal, and you're just sort of like floating there, and you can see the whole system ahead of you on the view screen. You know, in a very unrealistic way. There's like all these like, you know, on the panel, or sorry, on the like the hologram, like the whole solar system sort of like comes up into view, and you can see like all of the targeting, like all of the you're getting like signals from like all the ships, right, that are floating around the system, and it just keeps beeping up onto the overlay, and there's just like a huge buildup of Imperium ships here. There appears to be like a couple of Imperial Navy like flotillas. There's like a small Space Marine flotilla. There's tons of ships here. It's actually like kind of overloading the computer a little bit, and like you actually see like smoke starting to come out of like the hologram machine.
Oi! Stop spewing, you!
So like checking like the messages and the logs. First of all, I guess we want to know like what time period we're in, and like second thing we'd want to know is like what the hell happened. Like why are there so many ships here if that's being communicated?
Yeah. So first off, the time period. You're like your systems are like reconnecting to like the central server of the system, and you're picking up like all of the bureaucracy style stuff. And one of the things is like the chronometers get adjusted, and the chronometer gets adjusted to like 10 years in the future. So you guys have been like in the nebula for like a decade, basically.
Oof.
Yeah. By the way,
is there any like reaction to that? Like you guys like see the chronometer just like jump forward like 10 years?
I mean, like we're rogue we're a rogue trader ship outfit. Like we kind of know like the warp does some fucky things.
Right. But that seems like a lot of time, right?
It is. It's definitely a lot of time. Like there is an oof from Holtz. But like there's also like not a whole lot he can do about it. So
Sator is more
Gizmek is just like picking the like earwax out of his ear. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I think Wanderer like sees the time change, and you can see like a change in her expression. She like blanches a little, and like then
Sator is just questioning if anything changed in this time.
Oh, like what happened in the last 10 years? Yeah, that's a good question. No.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys are pondering the change, obviously, since your ship like reconnected and started like downloading data, people are becoming aware of you. So you actually get like an incoming message from let's see, what's the name of this ship here? From the Duckle Circlet, which is a very large ship in the center of the system.
Could you
a box message?
Could you write out the name of the ship in the Discord or the Roll20? Sure. One of the two.
Yeah.
Does Wanderer or anybody say this out loud?
I think there's like a guy down at in the space below who hollers up like, message coming in from the Duckle Circlet.
Duckle.
Yeah, Duckle Circlet. Yeah.
Duke. Okay, yeah. I believe that's pronounced Ducal, but don't quote me on that.
Nice, Duckle sounds funnier.
But yeah, no, I'll accept the Vox communication. I mean,
yeah. So like this message is coming through, and it overtakes the overlay of the system. It's like a hologram, two-way communication. A couple of like servo skulls come out of the housing to like float around you to like display your image to him as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the hollow screen comes up this man. He's black. He's got like a big scar down his face. He's wearing extremely ornate chest armor with like a captain's coat over the top. That's also very ornate with like aquillas on it and purity papers. And he's got 3 candles on one of his shoulders that are like what? Because this is 40K, right?
Yep.
He's also got like a bunch of different cybernetics. He's got like a cord that's coming out of his suit and like plugging into his head. His hair is like long on the top, but like very cut buzzed underneath, and that's what the port is like plugged into. Is this very short hair section?
Is this boy like Skrillex hairstyle?
Yeah, but like not like done in that way. It's got like that like African curl to it, right? It's got like and he's got this like big magnificent beard and very bushy eyebrows, and he's got like this like a piercing gaze that you can tell even through the hollow port. He's definitely like taking a measure of you and like not saying anything right off the bat. And eventually he says, well, this is a surprise. How in the 9 hells did you get here?
Well, to be frank...
Oh, pardon me, my manners. I am Jackal Veronis. Your name, sir?
Holtz. Just Holtz.
And he like smiles and like, seems to like lean back and stroke his beard. And he says, well, other than myself, of course, you are the first ship to grace this system in many years.
Really now? I'm afraid we've been out of the loop for quite some time. Last we checked, I looked at the chronometers. We left in...
Insert 10 years ago.
989 M41.
You can see him like doing some like mental math and he says, well, that's quite a long time. You've been out there.
Well, from our perspective, it was only
although it makes a certain sort of sense with what happened at all. And he sort of gestures all around him, like as if you should know what that means.
I'm afraid we're out of the loop. What do you mean, Captain?
So as a sidebar, there's like a nebula, like near the system that wasn't there when you guys sort of left, right? Like this nebula's been following you, like has been cut across the galaxy the entire time you're traveling. So,
yeah, then I'll be like, does that have something to do with this nebula?
He like smirks and he says, yes, very much so.
If Sator looked at the nebula, would he be able to tell that that's not the normal nebula?
Yeah. First off, I mean, it has to do with the fact that like you haven't been seeing the Astronomicon, and it's in the direction of the nebula, right? And you've been driving down a dark road with like very small headlights, right?
Yeah.
So you're actually like kind of on edge because you've been doing that for like the last couple of months, right? Or like you have to make like very quick course decisions, right? That you normally wouldn't have to do. You normally would just set up the whole course and then just like, do whatever.
Sator can see really far away with the new warp core, quote unquote, but yeah.
Right. It's only like a couple of light years ahead, right? So like, you get to constantly make course adjustments, which is not normal.
Yeah.
So Jekyll says, so I'm not going to ask the details, even if my navigator would bite my head off if I didn't ask. But what are you doing here?
Oh, that's a bit of a long story, Captain Jackal. Frankly, I guess it would be fair to say that we were running for our lives.
Well, that does seem to fit with the current state of things. Running from what exactly? And he seems to be he's pulled out someone off screen has handed him a note board or whatever, and he's filling something out as he's speaking to you.
To make things short, we had to make an emergency warp jump away from a massive fleet of enemies. I'll leave it at that.
Just enemies? And he's I'm putting you on the record, by the way. We need to know what's going on out there, and any little bit of news you can give us is a benefit.
Well, do I have a vid com that I can show him from
Yeah, sure. You could send him a vid of the ships just appearing and blowing you guys up.
Yeah.
And then this ship is turning and running, right? Immediately.
I'll show him there was a massive fleet.
Yeah.
Oi, show him the moon that they pulled out.
That's in there, yeah.
Yeah, he shows the moon. Gets blown up by the tachyon arrow.
I just imagine we're showing the picture and then Gizmek walks up and just slaps something, the thing pauses and Gizmek is this is real important, not even introducing himself, pulls out a red marker and circles the moon.
Yeah, you can see that Jackal starts a little when Gizmek comes on screen, but he's not super interested in the fact that you're an orc. He's just surprised is all, right? It comes out of nowhere. He obviously probably has orcs working for him as well. So so he watches it and nods and says, "Yes, world eaters, it does make sense. They have been making moves on this section of space as well last few years. They came by a couple years after I appeared, as it were. Well, my long-range sensors are detecting that your ship is in need of repair, obviously, and I would offer, if you want, you to join my fleet here to defend this system. But I figure when a trader such as yourself would require the independence. Yes.
Yes, I'm afraid I'm much more useful when I'm allowed a bit of leeway. With all due respect,
we'll set you up as a contract on a contractor basis then. Does that sound fair?
Very good.
Now, do you have any goods to trade for repairs, or would we be doing this on a premature basis?
This is more a business thing. So I'm sure Holtz is negotiation and stuff like this, but how much do we have on the ship?
Yeah, so let's look at your character sheet here and see what your wealth is at.
We used to have a lot of stuff before.
Yeah,
so you
to be fair, some of our wealth was split across the extra 3 ships that we've now lost.
Yeah, so that's the problem is basically you guys are at your base level of wealth. Many the only thing you really have is a couple of the weapons that you guys picked up, but it's not a huge amount. It's basically the wealth too that Holtz is running around with right now. You could try, so wealth lets you improve your influence to help you purchase things.
Okay.
But to repair a ship of this size would require quite a roll on that to be able to call in the favors that you need. You're also in you're in a unknown section of space, so it's difficult to tell if you even have contacts around this the system.
I'm just looking at one of my things.
And it seems that this other trader Jekyll is willing to like front you the repairs if you do something for him.
Yeah, but the trick there is do something for him.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to invoke Paranoid here.
Okay.
Once per session, when I have access to a communications device, I ask my ring of contacts one question they may know. And this is more a test to see like how far my reach as a rogue trader goes, since I'm literally just entering the system.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is also just like, what can I expect from this Jekyll character?
Yeah, sure. This would have probably been part of. Well, maybe not, because like you guys didn't know he was even here because he has been gone for 10 years. So yeah. So go ahead and give me a cunning fellowship test. And
the GM rolls a secret one.
Yeah, I know. It's okay to have it in public. I don't like secret rolls. So go ahead and roll it.
That's fair. Yeah. So cunning fellowship. I think I have an ability that gives me +2.
The only secret roll, the only difference that secret rolls ever made in original RT was that we couldn't re-roll them.
All right, and I also get plus rank bonus dice when making cunning fellowship tests.
I like that house rule. We're gonna do that, which is the only thing secret rolls you can't do is re-roll them. Yeah, that's I'm the only one that should be. I like seeing things out in the. I like everything in the game being out in the open.
It's like I'm going to discover the result in a second anyway.
Yeah, it helps people role play what they've rolled, right?
I only got 2 successes.
Okay, so I can tell you what you know about this guy. Like you similarly are getting like data pads passed to you by Wanderer with like a whole bunch of information on this guy, right?
You got 3 successes.
Scrolling through it as fast as you can.
Right, 3
she's like picked up information about him in like the public feeds, basically. Like it's a bunch of like, because like all of the news in system is sort of like constantly being broadcast from the hive worlds, and so your guys' like ship is being like filled up with data right now. And so you're getting like all like the news feeds and stuff for things. So Veronis isn't like from this system. He's not like the system governor. He's the first one to knowingly pass through the streets of Andrast. You're not really sure what that is, and so you like look that up. And the streets of Andrast are this like this section of weak space through the cicatrix that's sort of nearby Gilead. So Gilead is sort of like a hub system if contact could ever be like reestablished with the other side of the cicatrix, because they have this like weak tunnel. So Jekyll Veronis was able to pass through that with his like huge flotilla. He was like in the middle of traveling to Gilead when the cicatrix went off. And so he similarly had like a time problem and ended up like here 5 years later. So he's actually only been here for like 5 years. But he's like the single most like powerful like warlord in system. He basically has all these other ships under his command. So every time a new ship like arrives or like gets sort of stuck here, he basically like strong arms them into like joining his fleet. And so he's got like huge amounts of like Imperial Navy ships with Imperial Guard under his command. He's got like a large Sisters of Battle contingent that was here about to go. So like the reason that there's so many warships here is this was a staging area for a big war that's happening on another planet nearby. You get a bunch of like news screens about that as well. There's like a war against this like alien civilization you never heard before. And so this was like a staging area. So there's like a bunch of like warships here preparing to join the fight there. So there's like a bunch of, as I said, there's like a small like Absolver Space Marine detachment. So he's got like a ton of power under his control. That's what you get with 2.
Okay, it's 3 actually.
It's 3 actually
Yeah.
because
3.
it
Okay,
was a
so I can give you a little more.
What's his favorite color?
Blue, obviously.
Damn it!
His
One of them lucky boys.
his jacket is a beautiful blue color. Let's see if there's any other information here that I can give you that's interesting that isn't like.
Is he one of them superstitious luck boys?
Oh, you do know that he receives extensive rejuvenant treatments. So even though he appears to be in his early 30s, he's probably like 70 or 80 years old.
Okay. Okay. Holtz, beneath his mask of like diplomacy, he's like a little jealous that he's established this much power because that was his goal in the other campaign.
Yeah, this kind of looks like this guy basically like did what, like if Holtz had come out in Gilead 5 years ago instead of out in the middle of the ass end of the galaxy 10 years later, right? Like you'd be in this guy's position basically.
Yeah, like it's just he's just like kind of like clicking his tongue, like a little bit miffed. But given the fact that he's basically like the de facto warlord of this entire area, Holtz sees no reason to not sees no reason to piss him off, and he's like, okay, yeah, it might be a good idea to just like go along with him for right now.
Yeah, another little thing you get is that like him and the Lord Militant, who's the woman in charge of like the civilian sector of the system, butt heads a lot because she's supposed to be the ruler, but the fact that she doesn't have even close to like the military might that he's amassed, so he's just sort of taken over.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I don't think Holtz really needs to spend the money because, like, if he's planning to front him and like also give him like, it depends on the interest rate. It depends on what he's charging. But like,
yeah. So basically, like he if he gets down to like a negotiation, like he provides like a small contract where it's like he'll fix up your ship. He'll provide full like food and supplies and stuff, right? He'll provide like a full refit and resupply, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go and collect some tithes that have been lacking because no one's been able to travel for the last 10 years in a couple of systems nearby. So he's basically asking you to become a tax collector for him.
Yeah, no, like that was literally Holtz's plan anyways. Like, oh,
tax collectors in space, amazing.
That's exactly what Holtz was planning to do in the first place. Yeah, no.
And then obviously he would have like an observer like posted aboard to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
And a point of contact. That's fine.
Oi, Hoots, watch out there. Them blue kids send about all the thieving sorts. Make sure you read the fine print.
I mean,
it seems like a very cut and dry. It's very short, right? It's not like pages and pages and pages.
Sator looks over at Gizmek, slightly annoyed.
I mean, yeah. If Jakal said Holtz something like pages and pages, he would have just like, "Sir, I'm also a rogue trader. We don't need to do this. Let's just keep
right." Yeah. No, he's keeping it pretty above board.
Yeah.
He's in a super position of power. If you break his contract, he doesn't fucking care, right? Like,
yeah, like it doesn't bother him.
Yeah, he's got
it doesn't
like
bother me either. So
he's got Space Marines under his command, right? Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
For him.
So yeah, no, Holtz is absolutely fine with this contract as is, and he's fine with an observer.
Meanwhile, Gizmek is just looking at Soot, giving him the dirty eye. He's just like, "What?"
So we're gonna have like a little like smash cut, like vignette of like, he's it says you say that you'll accept the contract, and Vernon says, okay, we're sending out a scout ship to do this properly, right? And so like the scout ship arrives and like a shuttle comes aboard your guys' craft, and it's like a bureaucrat, right? He's got like a book on a staff, he's got like he's one of those people that is the signer.
Yeah.
Right? He's like the adjudicator. He's got like an adjudicator robe. He's got like a bunch of like servants that are coming with him, like pulling a trail behind him. He like brings.
You can't do that. That's against the law.
He like brings forth like the contract, right, and then like has like a ceremony of signing where like you stamp it with like a big red ink a big like wax stamp in old fashioned style and yeah, so they provide an observer who is this woman. She appears human but like heavily modified. She doesn't like have any eyes. She's got like her eyes like covered with like a black cloth. She's got like long black hair.
Is this one of them extra mangy bitches like Malarkey?
She's yeah, so she's got like a whole bunch of like cybernetics like around her forehead, like a bunch of cameras and stuff. And she just sort of like stands on the bridge, like silent, and just like doesn't react to anything. And she doesn't really move.
So she's a statue. Got it.
Yeah, so she's basically like a statue covered in cybernetics. And if in fact they like wheel her in on like a dais or something. And so she literally just doesn't move. She's like one of those like guards in England,
Yeah. For the record, I ask Jakal if she is capable of defending herself if the need be, or do I need to protect this person?
Yeah, he like smiles and says she can handle herself.
That's all I need to know.
And you like look at her and she's like wearing like normal robes or whatever. So she could be hiding a weapon in there. You're not really sure. But yeah.
I mean,
by the way,
yeah.
Sator looked through the warp at her. Does she seem to be a psyker at all?
She's got some sort of like psychic energy like radiating off of her, but you're not really sure like in what capacity.
It could be either that she's a psycho or she has some cybernetics for that.
Yeah.
As they start taking the cart away from wheeling her in, Gizmek is just walking up and just like poking her lightly.
Yeah, so like she'll like react in the way that like she has to in order to like, but she just goes right back to her standing position.
This one's boring.
Yeah, she's like super boring. Like on purpose. She's like specifically designed to be boring.
Yeah.
It's probably like the most anti-Gizmek thing in the universe right here in front of
What are them toaster boys even up to?
Yeah.
Sator is happy that she won't be going through the entire ship searching around.
And with her also Veronis provides a number of coordinates for systems that need to be checked on, like they haven't been checked on in 10 years, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That all are owing tithes to Gilead, which is supposed to be like the staging area for the tithe ships.
So we need to go around to collect taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taxes in the form of people. Probably.
And then there's a couple of planets to choose from here. The first one is called Tenoris, and it's a hive world with like an agri system nearby, and they're supposed to tithe like a huge amount of food back to Gilead. Veronis explains that while they do have like their own supplies, like a lot of them were sent to this battlefield, and so the system is actually like was quite depleted when he arrived, and so they definitely need more like foodstuffs and things because they were basically like funding this war on the other side of the system. There's Forge World Ronaldus, which was a so he's got like a special note on this one. So they're a Forge World that specifically expertise is in Blackstone shaping, and they were experts in that, and they were basically in the process of building a fleet of black ships to pick up all the psychers on all these planets and take them to Terra. So there should be a bunch of black ships there, and Sisters of Silence waiting. So if you could like get them to come and pick up all these psychers that are building up. He says that the prison on Caribbean is full, like 100% full, and like the weird shit's starting to happen. So they need to pick those they need to pick the psychers up.
Mm-hmm.
And so like figure out what's going on with that. I'm gonna type all these out, or copy and paste them. So we got Damaris, we got Forge World, Ronaldus.
It says ass.
We should have a Discord channel for the planets, probably.
Yeah, I'll do that in a minute or later. There's a so as I said, there's a night chapter contingent on this megafauna planet, but obviously they are depleted in numbers, and so because they sent a bunch of them to the front, and so if they're going to be facing more chaos invasions, then they're going to need some more night reinforcement, and so Urdent is a nearby night world that's supposed to be sending levies, right?
Yep.
And then so there's this battlefield, and no one really knows how the war over there is going. So Karsoka is a place that he needs news from. So that'd be cool if you could go there.
All right, let's go there.
Yep.
And then there's also there's a massive manufacturing center in the Frotha system that he needs stuff. He needs goods. And so they have a tithe of goods that need to be paid. So those are the sort of 5 places that he's mentioned in the contract that need to be investigated and news taken from and tithes gathered from them.
By the way, does he want us to go to like one of these planets and then come back, or to do however we want?
Holtz was going to just go like to all of them and then come back when he finished.
Yeah, so like he would appreciate as fast as possible, which would be to go to all of them, but he knows that if something weird is if the ship gets damaged or whatever, or you run out of supplies that you need to come back and refit, then he'd be willing to do that, right? And then obviously because of the way the warp is, like he's assuming that you guys are basically like puddle jumping, and so he's like, if you guys come across any like weird things out there, that's under your warrant of trade, so you guys can have whatever profit you get from that.
Yeah.
But he wants like the information about what's going on out there, right?
Yeah. He doesn't want to be completely blind.
Right, and he realizes how dangerous the galaxy is, so he's like, rearms and refits, you can come back and get those as long as you're working under me.
Does he also have available manpower to give us, or?
I'm sure we've also been like recruiting to like replace our like crew.
Yeah, so there's like a big hive world, right? So you guys have gone like nearby, and you guys have like press ganged people into your crew, I'm sure. Nice. So your crew is like mostly refit, although you're not sure what
what skill level. Yeah,
well, no, not what skill level, but what like new factions you've sort of incorporated into your crew by doing that. And like how many spies from like people have appeared because of that. But,
don't worry, Gizmek is the best recruiter. Get on the bloody ship.
Sator doesn't care if there is a bit of chaos personally, because he needs prisoners for Ira. Yeah. Especially in the state she's in.
Finally, like once like everything's like ready to go, like the captain has been very cagey on like one issue, and Holtz like before like he steps off to go back, or like before he closes the box, he's like, so there's one thing you haven't told me. I gestured to like the big fog cloud or the big nebula cloud, the strictest behind him. What the hell happened?
I'm not sure of the details myself, but this nebula has cut its way across the galaxy and has cut us off from most of humanity. In fact, it has brought a great night among us. We haven't been able to leave the system all we've been able to do is deal with invasions from afar. Now and then, chaos fleets will appear, and we have to fight them, and then we build back. But with these tithes and with some extra reinforcements from Karsoka and Yurdent, the Emperor will save us. I'm sure at some point this will all pass and we will return back to normal, but until then, this is the reality.
I ain't seen no corpse god throw a moon at people.
Gizmek, go back to work.
Oi, he just slams another sticky note on the cogitator right next to you.
It starts to smoke and like
That just starts like popping up numbers, and all of a sudden there's like a picture of toast.
Holtz has stopped worrying about Gizmek's repairs, and it's like, I see. Your faith in the Emperor will keep you strong then.
He says, only the throne can help us now. But we will keep up the fight as long as we can. Obviously, we are in a good position. We have the forces necessary to deal with these invasions, but they are slowly wearing us down. And these tithes will and possible reinforcements. I don't know how you are capable of traveling around. I assume you are puddle jumping with some sort of extra knowledge. My navigator is breathing down my neck to figure out. She's been stuck here for 5 years as well and has not been able to see the warp since then. So she's feeling a little.
The only thing I can say is that we've been blessed by the Emperor.
I assumed it was something like that. Hopefully, soon you will trust me enough to share that information with me, but until then, we are dealing with this problem ourselves. And he says, if you are able to slave any of the ships that are part of these tides, such as the black ships or reinforcements from Karsoka, and have them follow you through the warp, that would be the best way to deliver the reinforcements from there. Same with your event, obviously. So actually, he doesn't want you to go to all the places all the way around because, like, he wants.
Yeah, we have to deliver. Yeah. So,
By the way, first thing before talking about this, could Sator try to follow the, nebula, quote unquote, so that he could discover that it's basically coming from Cadia, or its general direction?
I mean, that's a tough, like, it's like from that section. It's obviously coming from the. It's not coming from Cadia. It's coming from the Eye of Terror.
Yeah.
But the Eye of Cadia is right next to
it. And it's connected to like that other nebula on the other side. I forget the name of it.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
There's another Chaos Nebula on the other side of the galaxy that's connected to.
Right.
Yeah, it's not confirmed that it's Cadia at this point.
Anyway,
yeah, you don't know if that Cadia like blew up, right? Like nobody really knows that information.
That was just a small thing, but anyway,
well, I mean, one person knows, and that's Lord Slaughter. He knows. He was there, but anyway. Nobody else really knows what's going on out there.
Yeah. Anyway,
this side, yeah. But yeah,
we should probably plan a route on how we want to go with these.
I mean, yeah. So personally, I think we have the supplies to make it to like one of the worlds, maybe two of the worlds. So if we wanted to pick up like ties from like one of the worlds that doesn't have a ship, they go to the food world to like restock on supplies, and then go back to a world that has a ship in it, or like has ships to follow us. I think that would be like the most efficient way to do it.
I was thinking something like doing the food and the world with the Sister of Silence and Black Ships first,
So-
potentially,
So
or in the first trip.
Tonaras, then the Forge World, and then come back.
I
Is that what you're
mean,
saying?
to be fair, Gizmek's instant response is Karsoka's under attack. There's a fight going on. I want the fight. So that's his instant thing. But yeah, that's about all his input in this.
Could
Sure.
by the way, could we go to the? What would Jackal's opinion be if we went to the Night World and then we went to Karsoka?
He's letting you set up he doesn't care about the details. He just needs stuff
He
to
needs the
happen.
vibes. Yeah.
He's got like a lot of other shit going on. Like while he's been jiving with you, like every 2 minutes, someone like brings like another form for him to fill out, right? Like he's basically like
Yeah.
running the system, you know. So
Yeah. No, he's significantly more busy than I am. And
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that we should go to the Night World and to Karsoka after that when we
Well-
go, because
there's a possibility that we're delivering like the Night World's reinforcements to a war that's already lost. So
Yeah.
if we're doing that, we should go to Karsoka first, then the Night World. And if they desperately need reinforcements, we can bring back some of them and just say that we diverted some of them.
yeah, I don't know if we should go there first, or I personally am on the Sister of Silence stuff close to what we'll do first.
The fact that the psyker prisons are full and like weird shit starting to happen is kind of like a cause for concern, especially with like the Eye of Terror expanding.
Yeah.
That's
Goods and a war and everything else is also extremely important, but you'd never know what a bunch of untrained psychers are going to do.
Yeah. So I'm kind of actually with you on that part. So I'm actually wanting to leave Karsoka for like the latter half of the trip. I know that's gonna like.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, Gizmek is gonna throw a fit, but like out of character,
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Or maybe
we'll appease him by saying we're saving the best part for last.
Or maybe we go something like to the Forge World and then we bring back the Sister of Silence and then we go straight to Karsoka.
I mean, I'd like to take out like one of the other systems. Like what's in the Frothis system?
it's a massive manufacturing center, so it's got like Forge Worlds and Hive Worlds, and they just like build.
They
like,
just
parts
need
for
to.
things.
They just need to bring back a
parts and
lot
stuff.
a lot of general goods like weapons and a
So
lot.
I would like to go Frothis system Forge World if it's all the same to y'all, and then come back.
Yeah, I mean, I know in character exactly where I would want to go, obviously, but I'm willing very much to like give you guys the benefit of the doubt with this order of operations of yours.
It's also like very likely that we're gonna have like other combats.
It does make sense to go to Frothis first so that we get a couple more resources to be ready, and then we get us. And then maybe we should go to Karsoka third after we come back with the Sisters of Silence.
Yeah, we'll come back, and then Karsoka. Like once we restart, we can go to Karsoka, and then Tonaras, and then the Night World. And if Karsoka needs like reinforcements, we can like drop some of the Knights on Karsoka.
Make a pass for. So first we're going to Frothis, and then the Forge World. And then we're going to return, and then we'll likely go to Karsoka, and then we'll see. This is what I know for now. Or what we basically decided on.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then, we'll decide the others later, because unless something...
So you guys are going to Frothis first?
Yes.
And then Ronaldus after? Okay, so... they're all sort of in like a small, like, this is like the local group of systems, so all of them are fairly equidistant to each other and also like equidistant between themselves, right? So it's not that huge a difference. Like, there's not like a huge difference in like, you know, setting up a path or whatever. So you punch up the Frothis system. I'm going to need you to make a navigation check.
Yep. Let me check. I'm pretty sure that I get like a +1.
Yeah.
Bonus die plus rank bonus dice to pilot skill test when steering a voice ship through the warp.
Yeah. No, it's not going to be pilot. It's going to be is it pilot?
The pilot is the skill you use if there is no navigation.
Oh, there's no navigation.
Yeah.
Right?
You just roll pilot with willpower.
Yeah, because I thought that was like.
There was a
pilot
navigation
with
skill in RT, but there isn't in this one, which is weird. But it's like just
it's not made for that. Like it's not made to have this. That makes sense. Okay, so we'll do a pilot skill check. It's still pretty difficult because you're barely seeing ahead of yourself, so it's still gonna be difficulty 4, I think.
All right.
There's not like any like the warp is pretty calm right now, so actually, if you're going to the Frothis system, it's gonna be 5 because it's a little bit more
chaotic,
frayed in that direction.
All right. We might regret not going to the 6 stars first then, if it's a bit more chaotic with the warp, but we'll see.
I believe in you. You've been my navigator for so long. Yeah, you're fine.
And also here's another D6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. No problem. You can actually shift that 6 and get there like in half the time.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll do that then.
You guys have spent like the last like couple weeks like getting the ship like refit and refueled and everything, and like press ganging new crew. And is there any like skilled people you wanted to have picked up, like some more like soldiers or anything?
Who did like? I guess most of the people we lost would have been fighters because we were literally attacked by
world. You lost also, like fighters and non-fighters both.
We also need to pick up. We might want to pick up, psychers. I forgot what they're called.
Oh, yeah, astropaths would probably be like.
Yeah, all the astropaths are dead. That's why he has no communication outside system either.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
understandable.
You talk about how like all the astropaths like clawed all their eyes out.
Man, that when Sator is going to get his psychic awakening, that's gonna be really good.
Okay, so in that case,
otherwise he'd been able to get news from all those other systems, right? So
Holtz is like so like if we had like some macro gunners, that'd be pretty nice. Big people that shoot the big guns on the ship.
Yeah, so we'll just call that like skilled crew, right? And go ahead and make me a like a leadership check, difficulty 4, I guess. Actually, give me just a base leadership check, and how good you do will tell me like how much you get. You get a lot. You get a lot of dudes. Although you have a complication in there, so I'm just going to mark that down. And
just stuff that away for later.
We'll stuff that away for later. Yes,
that's a secret tool we'll use later.
Fun. Yeah, that sounds about right, though. I'm okay with that.
But
complication on skilled crew.
Would it be possible for Sator to try to find any chemists?
Yeah, that could be part of the skilled crew for sure. So what would you need what part of the ship would they be working under?
Probably
his personal drug lab.
Yeah, okay. So just like a lab? Sure. So
we would need to build up a new one, new space for it, basically.
Holtz could set aside like part of like the Churgeon's medical like area for you.
So part of how good that leadership check was, you managed to like pull in some recruits from like an offshoot of Clan Escher that were looking to get off world because being on world fucking sucks right now.
Oh yeah, you getting the good druggies.
So they've got like punk rock haircuts, punk rock hair color, punk rock outfits, and they're all like murder women. So you got like a big contingent of them, and they're basically high all the time.
Epic.
Yeah.
So they're like Sator. Got it.
with sweet mohawks, yes.
All right, we need to get you a hair squig, Sator.
And
Yes.
in 6-inch tall, like high heel boots with spikes coming out of them.
Nice.
Don't worry. Sator has been living with Ira. He'll be fine.
And they know what the fuck they're doing, right? Like they're like hardcore chemists. They've been turning like promethium and water and foodstuffs into drugs for the last like decades. So
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sator will just allow them to work on general stuff, and
they don't take direction too well. So like if you tell them to do stuff, they like basically do the opposite. Yeah. But if you lead them in the right direction, they do it, you know?
Yeah, Sator mostly will try to lead them. He doesn't. If he wants something to be, if he wants specifically something, he'll just make it himself.
Right. But yeah, they're definitely like around in the background now. So now and then we'll see like a punk rock Asher woman in the background.
Yeah. Sator will allow them to do mostly whatever.
And they like that. That's what they do. They do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably listen to like loud music and whatever while they're working too, like some like hard rock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have no problem punching in the Frothus system.
One additional thing: if anything, Sator will just give them more drug recipes that he knows.
Yeah, I mean they're constantly like experimenting and trying new stuff, and like now and then one of them will OD and die, but like it's not like a super common occurrence, you know?
Yeah. The only specific thing from RT which sort of was a thing is that Sator has a thing called Life Mist, which basically makes your tongue and eventually, if you use it a lot, even teeth purple. But it makes you more perceptive.
I can add into your inventory because you have these Clan Escher women, like a couple of like poison gas grenades. That's like one of their specialties is poison gas. So they've got some sweet poison gas grenades for you.
Yeah.
So just put in like Escher poison gas grenades, and we'll like figure out the rules for them when you throw them. You don't actually really know what they do yet. They just sort of hand it to you, and they're just like, "For being such a good boss, we're giving you these. Don't put too much into it." And they just fucking go back to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like,
how many should I place?
3. Do 3 for now.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they're all different, so I'm gonna roll randomly whenever you throw one.
Nice.
Make a fucking table for them.
Like one is like a hot pink, one is like a hot like baby blue, and one of them is like a neon green color. And they all have like Jinx style drawings drawn all over them, you know?
Hot pink, hot baby blue, and neon.
Neon green.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of uncomfortable with the idea of hot baby blue. But...
Yeah, it's baby blue, but it's just it's like a strong like fluorescent color.
Yeah, I know.
Baby blue is a color, and it's weird anyway.
Yeah.
It's actually like hard to look at the grenades because they're like so bright, you know, like the bright colors.
Sator, that baby blue grenade, it really brings out your third eye.
Holtz, no, you're literally going to die.
So anybody else want to do anything for the next like the last couple of weeks before you guys get to the Frothus system?
Gizmek?
Yeah. What is Gizmek doing while you guys are traveling to Frothus?
So Gizmek, at this point, considering he's basically been told that we're not going to the war world first, is probably grumbling a little bit, but otherwise going back to his the storage bay that he used to work at with Holtz before, that Holtz had basically given him when he was still on the Blackstone, and now he's basically recouped it and is continuing to work on his Death Dread.
Yeah, so like the mech bay section of the Blackstone is growing as more damage is being done, the more the mech bay is growing. So you go ahead and give me a tech roll on the mech. I don't know how many successes you got last time, and I don't
got
remember
up to
how
10. I
high
got
the
up to
number
a
was.
fifth of the progress last time.
A fifth of the progress. Okay, cool. And then there was a complication as well, so you can't finish it without a particular part as well. I remember.
Yeah, there was that. Let's see. We are doing tech with that
Sorry.
modifier. Double rank modifier on this because of
Architect, yeah.
it's Orky. So I think
It's
that
plus
means
two.
that's an 8. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, yeah, I got it now.
So we get like an orc repair montage again, where you're like.
Damn, that
dribbling.
is such a shit
That is a
roll.
horrible roll.
I am going to wrath the shit out of that.
Okay.
Yep. Remove one of his rats.
Yeah,
One,
I'm gonna do
two.
that.
You are not supposed to reroll everything, but I'm pretty sure that this is still better.
It's also a horrible roll, but yes. So it should be
2, 4,
5,
6, 8, 9, 10.
I'm basically going to count the ones that lit up in the second roll that didn't light up in the first roll. So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got 12 successes.
Hey.
22 out of 50,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So you're at 22 out of 50. Yeah. So you're almost halfway there. So we've got like, the majority of the scaffolding done, right? It's got like the legs set up, it's got the arms set up, it's got like, it's attached by chains to the ceiling. There's a bunch of montage scenes of you like, putting on like a welder's mask and like welding shit and like sparks flying in your face, and like your assistants doing the same in the background. And then, it's you standing in front of all the work that's been done in the last couple of weeks, and it's like it's like a scaffold all set up. All that's left is to put all the pieces on top of it, right? You had to like.
I'm actually, based on what Holtz mentioned in the chat, I did actually mess up a little bit. So I am going to say take away 4 from that. So I'm going to go down to 18 because I fucked up with a modifier.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm actually supposed to have like I have 4 intellect and 4 in rank, and then I have the mechadendrite that gives me a +1, so it should be 13,
11.
not 17.
It should be 11.
No, it should be 13 because double the 4 to 8.
You
plus
also
4
have,
from
you also have like a
intelligence.
you also have a base tech skill, right? So
Yeah.
Okay, I'll trust you.
Yeah, I trusted him. So only 8. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're up to 18 out of 50, a little bit less than that, but still a decent amount of progress.
Yeah, so it's still like the scaffold's done, and all that's left is to like start putting parts inside of it. You have like a huge, crew compartment for yourself to fit in this thing, because you're massive, and it takes up like a majority of the mech bay now. Is this like huge def dread that's being built? Okay, so. Again, like you guys are all like lined up in the command bridge, and the ship is about to come out of warp. Wanderer has like a briefing for you about the Frotha system, and it's like a couple of different worlds that are basically like designed to sort of function independently, but then also provide these output of ship parts for the nearby ship yards in Gilead. So it's got like a forge world. It's got like an angry world to feed everybody. It's got like a hive world to do all the manufacturing, like the low level manufacturing, right? It's got like all these moons that have been mined basically hollow. And part of the briefing includes like all of the various like pirate gangs that have sort of moved into these hollow moons.
How recent is this information, by the way?
Oh, it's like somewhere between 20 and 30 years old.
Okay, like I wanted to confirm that because like the latest information that we should have gotten is like 10 years old at this point, right? Like possible.
Yeah. But this is like specifically pretty like Like they didn't have like a shipment for a while, so there hasn't been like any news between Gilead and Frothis for quite a long time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But so yeah, so like you guys come out of the warp and like the system starts to come up onto the holo screen, and you so Frothis is not supposed to have like any like void ships. It's just supposed to like deliver, like goods are supposed to, like the transport system will just show up and pick up stuff and then leave, right? So they had like no ability to travel anyway, right? And the rate, the like the data screen starts popping up, three ships in orbit around the primary hive world.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
With no additional information.
But like
about those 3 ships.
Again, that's still like within expectations. 10 years like without contact, shit changes pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that they were pirates in the first place, gives me like some idea of like what might have happened, but like I can't. Like I'm not about to go blaring like the Imperium's national anthem or like
yeah.
Praise be the Emperor, death to the heretics.
I mean that's probably what they would see, right? Like they, these systems barely ever get contact with the outside world, with the outside universe rather, and you'd show up as like the Emperor's tithe bringers, right? And so like they would. You would assume they would like you've seen other planets where like you've done this, where you've shown up and like they like celebrate you as gods and whatever, and like parade you through the street and then like fill you up full of stuff and then send you on your way, and you're not the tithe you're not the tithe takers at all, right? Like you've probably done this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's your move?
I do. Sator could Sator try to take a look at the ships at all? The LDR, there is a thing in Rogue Trader where if you're, I don't remember what it's called, which the system
within,
which allows
like,
the ship.
So many void units, you could like look at something and like examine it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that wasn't only a navigator power which you're able to purchase. That was also a thing which you could do if you're.
I mean, yeah, here at the edge of the system, you can't really get like an ID lock on them, but if you get closer, you'll be able to see what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think, like, given like the status of everything, like, I don't know what this planet has been through. Like, it could be like under like new, less Imperium inclined management. So I'm not about to go. Like, I'm just gonna kind of like casually approach the system.
Okay.
That's my plan at the moment. Unless one of my commanders wants to point out something that I don't know.
Yeah, so like you guys start closing in, right, on the inner worlds of the system, and after about it takes like several days, right, to go from like the outside of a system to the middle. So after like a day or two, one of the like signal contacts around the ship like breaks off from orbit and starts like heading in your guys' direction.
No hailing, like, or like, even are we even in the hail distance, or?
They haven't sent like a hail of any kind. You could try to vox them, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they're within vox distance, he'll wait for them to be like out of support range of his other ships.
Sure.
And then hail them.
Yeah. Yeah. So another day or so passes, and you're now like sure that this ship is on an intercept course with you, and they haven't sent any hails or anything. They're well within Vox range, and they're like a day away from their other ships or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, are they responding to like my hails?
You never said you wanted to, but
I will. Once they're like away from like their support, I will hail them.
Let me see. Okay. So they do not respond.
Fantastic. In that case, I will broadcast a message that that this is a rogue trader ship, and if they do not respond, we will assume that they are enemies of the Imperium.
Okay. They don't respond. And they just keep getting closer until eventually they're sort of in sensor range, right?
Yeah,
I
I have once like they don't respond, I have like them on. I have the crew on like high alert and like ready to switch into battle stations at any moment.
Yeah, like I assume basically that's how the ship is every time it comes out of warp. Is like everyone's like ready to go at any minute because anything.
I feel like you'll be more accurate to just say that they are ready to fire.
Yeah. Like I have like macro cannons and like lances primed. We only had macro cannons on the ship. Never mind. We have macro cannons primed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the sensors ping a let's see. What kind of class vehicle is the
It was a Raider
Blackstone.
class.
Yeah.
Like a Havoc class Raider, I should say.
Havoc class?
I do remember that its machine spirit had a thing, or like it just shrugged off major hits if like on a good roll. But like,
so it's like a cruiser basically.
Yeah, it was a. I mean, it's a Raider.
It a battleship?
It's a Raider. Like it's an escort ship essentially.
Oh, it's an escort ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Cool.
is at the end, but also we had its machine spirit in Rogue Trader made it so that it shrugged off hits a bit. But at the same time, we got less profit factor there, but we sort of said that, we'll just always consider it in the background, but at the same time, we just don't care because it's annoying. Like, you always get a -1 profit factor.
Yeah.
So the ship that's coming in your direction is like an Iconoclast destroyer class ship.
Destroyer class.
Yeah.
So it's
like
way
slightly bigger than your Raider.
Okay. If it's only like slightly bigger, then yeah, like Holtz is pretty confident in like ship combat.
It's a ship that's been used by like pirates in the past, because it's very like combat focused ship.
Yeah, I mean our ship is pretty combat focused too. It's like it's focused on like speed and like shooting things.
Gizmek sort of like perks up from his daze all of a sudden because he was sort of zoning out. He's just like, "We're about to fight something."
Yes, Gizmek, some fools.
Shoot me at the bridge. He starts going towards the like pods and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's like getting ready for like battle stations for shit to hit the fan, and it's for good reason because when the ship finally gets into like super close sensor range and you can actually get like a visual on it, it's painted red. It has the skull of a huge being tied to it by chains. And it's got like corn symbols all over it.
Oh no.
And it's coming like right at you at full maximum burst.
All right. In that case, Holtz
So
is like,
we're gonna go to battle stations. Yeah.
Holtz kind of like grins, and he's like, finally a little bit of payback. I might enjoy a little bit of this.
So we're gonna do a little bit of void combat, I think.
All right.
Is it going to be mostly narrative? Because
mostly narrative, because I don't have any rules. Also, it's boring to do ship combat mechanistically.
Ship combat is so fucking. It's like it's cool to get all the shit and do ship combat, but at the same time it's so slow.
It takes so long.
It'll be similar to the first episode, except you guys aren't getting like hammered by like 1,000 capital ships at once, right? So, the ship is flying like straight at you. It's what kind of guns are on the Blackstone? You've got lances, you got macro cannons.
They were all macro cannons. Like we had
They were all macro cannons.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to keep the ship like at long range because macro cannons are good at long range. This destroyer appears to be set up for boarding.
Yes.
It's got boarding torpedo tubes all over it. It has a number of like fighter bays, and it's got like a bunch of guns for destroying incoming torpedoes. But you guys don't really use torpedoes.
You notice Gizmek like getting like, if he had hair, it would be like rising. Right now, he's just like, oh, these enemy kids stealing our tactics, eh? Oh, if they's gonna be trying to board us, they won't expect me to board them. Fire the bloody torpedo!
Gizmek, we don't have torpedoes on this ship.
I don't give a crap to it anyway! He just like punches the wall and like it's like hole in the wall. There's like a sticky note there that says torpedo.
Yeah, you like burst a hole in the wall and like a nearby like crew member like shrieks as like sparks come flying out of it.
Yeah, and if need be, I would like to use my last wrath point that I have at the moment to make a narrative declaration that we have some means of shooting me over to the ship that Gizmek has probably put together without Holtz's knowledge or with Holtz's knowledge and uncaring.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll take your wrath point, and you have converted one of the macro cannons into like a macro torpedo launcher.
Oh yeah!
Shells, you can like load yourself into a shell and then like fire it, right?
Yeah, boy.
It only really works because you think it does. You should like immediately
full
liquefy on
field
contact
power,
with the
yeah.
enemy. But it's you should, like that bullet should basically liquefy the moment it hits the hull. But I mean, you can't fire like through like void shields, right? But like once the void shields are down, like you'd be able to fire yourself into another ship.
Yeah, so this whole entire time while you guys are dealing with like the combat in space and whatnot and trying to take down its void shields and doing all this stuff, Gizmek is just angrily sitting in this pod waiting to be fired.
Well, like Gizmek's gonna have something to do in a second, but currently the ship's like trying to like come around to give it a broadside on this incoming ship, which has
all the ships are forward facing.
All the guns are forward facing. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a raider class. It's a raider class. I do remember this. Like it had a gun on the prow on the front, and then a gun on the dorsal, like on the top.
Oh yeah, I see it.
The dorsal can like switch to like the sides, but it can't fire behind.
Right. Okay. I found a picture of it. Okay. I mean, I found a picture of an idolator raider, which I assume is the type that you're using.
Havoc class, but yeah.
Close enough. Class. Yeah. Actually, probably closer to an infidel raider. Okay, so yeah, you do have forward guns. So you come into range of this incoming threat that now that you see a visual of it with all of like the accoutrement that the ship has built up around it. You can see it's actually got like a number of extra engines like tied to it by chains as well, like from other ships that they've like jammed onto the side of their ship so they can go extra fast.
Oh, so they are also using orc logic. Got it.
I mean, chaos and orc logic are pretty similar, right? Like,
at least Corn and orc logic, yeah. Gizmek is still
pretty close.
Gizmek is still fuming that these Yumis dare use his species tactics.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get behind this ship considering it literally like is matching trajectory to you every time you move, and it's moving way faster than you. But you can get a couple of good shots in with your macro cannons before it gets into like boarding range, and like lance range and stuff. Chaos ships love their lances; they got tons of lances on them too. But those are shorter range. So we'll let you like fire first into them. So you like I assume if you want to do like a command,
I guess
to do something
leadership.
Yeah, your crew is waiting for your command, basically.
Holtz is just like, gentlemen, some of you have never joined in on the Holtz dynasty's method of combat, so let me explain things to you very simply. The enemy is beneath you. You fall upon him when you are ready to. We watch from above, and we glitter him with the holes of our macro cannons. And only when we are ready will we descend to tear them apart limb from limb.
It's like Orson Scott Card level of
Yes.
fleet tactics. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a command roll. Leadership roll.
I'm going to spend a wrath point to re-roll that. So 1, 2,
Yeah, that's
3,
a good
4,
idea.
5.
Yeah.
That's much better. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Yeah. So you lay down like a firing pattern. Like you're sitting at the console, and like all your like sensors are like bringing up like stuff in front of you. And alongside like the servitors that are doing all the calculations and everything, you managed to bring up a firing pattern, and the twin macro cannons on your ship roar to life. You can see the shells like flying away from your ship at high velocity, and some of them manage to land on this thing as it flies at you with murderous intent, knocking out at least some of their void shields, and maybe causing like a little bit of hull damage as well as it comes flying at you. So now the ship is sort of in its own lance range, so you're both going to be firing on each other. So this is going to be a pose roll between you and like the captain of the other ship with their command as well.
Okay.
So they are also. So they're going to do a command test to figure out what level you need to beat them.
Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
The difficulty 4 test. Yeah. So
right.
you got to beat a difficulty 4 to do damage to them.
Yes. 1, 2,
Yes, just
4,
yes.
5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Successes.
Okay. So you can actually shift a 6 as well to do extra damage.
I think that sounds pretty nice. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. So you fire and like you blow off a bunch of their engines, and like a lot of their debris like flies into space, and the ship starts to like careen in a circle, basically. It's obviously wildly out of control. Your sensors are picking up that the other two ships that were at the planet are starting to move in your guys' direction.
Well, it's going to be too late for them to save this ship. So,
yeah.
Holtz is with
it's
them.
It's going to be like at least a day for them to show up. So,
yeah, with Holtz like kind of commanding over the ship, he's going to like try and like maneuver a ship behind the ship that's listing, especially with its engines blown up. And,
well, like, it's not. It's sort of flying in a circle. So, like getting behind it doesn't really make any sense. It's just like constantly like spinning.
I'm just gonna keep shooting at it then.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me one more final command test as you press the button.
Yep. I'll spend another wrath point to re-roll that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 66. Wow, only one more success. So that's 3 successes.
No, that's actually 2 more successes.
2 more. So you got 4 in total, which is pretty good. So I just say the macro cannons like blow this other ship up. Like you just continue the barrage, and the ship the void reactor reacts and detonates and makes like a big supernova like explosion in the view screen. Everything aboard the ship like shakes as that ship explodes because the shockwave like has nothing in space can stop it except for distance, right?
Yep.
So the shockwave of the ship exploding like rocks over the ship. Everyone sort of like looks around nervously, but nothing seems to be broken, or if anything, it's just stuff like fell off the shelves and stuff. That's about it. And it's like suddenly eerily quiet except for the like, you know, the red alert klaxon or whatever.
So knowing that there's 2 ships and knowing that they're not going to be as brain dead as like the first ship, I guess, because they weren't. I'm guaranteeing that the first people weren't expecting a fight.
Right.
Holtz is actually going to rely on his navigator to like find a spot to basically split, like get them to like search for him. Is there like an asteroid field that he can like hide in and like play hit and run tactics with a raider?
You can use a Wrath point to narratively add one.
Do I want to use my last wrath point?
I could do it for you instead.
Didn't you have 3?
Plus, you still,
I did. I spent
he
2 of
did,
them
he spent
on this
two.
one fight.
If you want, I can spend 1. Plus,
Alright.
you still own Sator Soul.
It's true. I mean, I would really much like it if there was an asteroid field. If you would like to spend that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so it looks like one of the like hollow moons has exploded in the time that the Cicatrix has been around, and there is a large debris field from that that you can maybe make it to if you rush, and you could maybe lose them in it. It would definitely block like sensors and things.
I mean, I don't want to necessarily lose. I want them to come searching for me, and I want to play like cat and mouse. But
well, I mean, lose in the sense that they don't know exactly where you are.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Right now in open space, they know exactly where you are.
Yeah, no, I will turn my ship around and head towards that asteroid field.
Okay. You might need to get like a little extra like oomph out of the engines, and so you might want to like tell somebody to do that.
Hey, Gizmek.
Gizmek.
What was that thing that you did to make the ship go really fast?
Oh yeah, it's over here. He shows you to like the engineering deck in the middle of all this, just like casually walks up to a red button, lifts up his hand and smashes it down so much that probably like dents the console that the red button is inputted into.
Yeah, so give me a tech test on like your architect that you've added to the engines using the architect modifier to posthumously have installed this button. You know,
we talked about this because I think in the intro section we were talking about one of our guys being ready to do it. I think Grismo hit it.
Yeah, Grismo hit it once.
Right, but I just because the engines were like all damaged and stuff. You had to like redo it, right?
Oh yeah, because we had to get everything. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
great. Yeah, perfect. That's a good test. So
I feel like if
the
we
button
felt...
works as promised and loads like like non-diluted Promethean fuel directly into the engines, and there's like an afterburner effect. So like basically, if we're seeing this, from a camera perspective, the ship just like the like engine trails like triple in length out of the back of the ship, and the ship just flies forward. Everyone should make like an agility check not to like just fall over from the acceleration, right?
Can we make
everyone make like an acrobatics check or athletics check or whatever?
Does toughness work?
What will the check be? Let's say athletics.
Okay.
Athletics, 4 successes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I got a 6.
All right.
Yeah, it's good, and that's on your wrath, so you get a glory point.
Yeah,
good job.
We need to roll athletics with strength, right?
You guys get a glory point.
Strength. Yeah.
Yeah. If I could roll with toughness, I might have a chance to actually succeed on this.
Hey,
yeah.
No. Okay. So Sator, you're like up in the navigatory bay, and you're like being thrown around. Give me like a luck roll, like a 50-50, like on a 4+. Roll d6 on a 4+. You like damage something important as you like fall into it.
Can I make an attempt to just like grab him midair as he flies past me as well?
I imagine we're in a different room.
He'd be up in the navigatorium spire, right? Just in case you guys need to retreat or whatever, he would be up there prepared to go to work whenever.
I just have in my head this like scene of us all casually walking into this room in the midst of this battle, and then me hitting this button and you flying away.
Okay, so you rolled the 4+, so you actually like fall on something really important. Roll me another d6 on a 4+. You hit one of your gas grenades, and on a 3- you hit something like important to the operation of the ship.
Oof.
Okay, so one of your gas grenades goes off on you. So let's go look up some effects.
Should I roll a 1d3 to also see which gas grenade it is?
Yeah, roll me a d3. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the hot pink.
The hot pink one goes off. So the hot pink cloud comes flying out, surrounding you. Let's look at some gas grenades in the PDF and see if there's any that are.
And before this one wasn't actually an offensive gas grenade. They forgot to tell you it's a stimulant.
Yeah.
And they're all offensive gas grenades for sure.
Damn.
All right. I mean, that could be used offensively.
Guys, right? There's nothing really good in the. Let's see, under weapon upgrades, maybe there's some good poisons or something.
All right, Sator, you start bleeding from your inside.
It's gonna be something like that.
Yeah. That's more of a fucking Drukhari.
I just need to find something fun.
That's more of a Drukhari.
I may have something for you. I'm just gonna link it on the Discord.
Okay, thank you.
Showcase grenade.
Something that like helps you against poison.
Oh, that is a dark heresy thing, but
resist poison. Oh, you might just take the poison condition. Let me double check what that is.
I mean, I imagine in the meanwhile, Gizmek is just like slightly undenting this metal panel that he punched in. Just like,
he's got like a
just like
cup.
he smashed it super hard with his hand. He's just gingerly like trying to get one of his power claw fingers in there to pry it up so that undents a little bit, doing it exactly the wrong way, probably causing more stuff to get cut up.
Yeah, that grenade is interesting, but it's not like super interesting.
Trying to find something nice, but
it's not wacky enough.
Yeah, it's not wacky enough. That one just does damage. It's not just doing damage is not nearly wacky enough for a random clan Escher grenade going off in your jacket. Let's see.
Is there a form of madness table that he might get temporarily?
Yeah, something like that. There's like a critical hit table. I don't think there's like a madness table. I wish there was. That'd be sick. There's like a mutation table. Because normally madness like goes along with corruption.
There are temporary effects you can get in. There are like
I can give you like the poison condition, but that's pretty boring, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is a thing in Rogue Trader which you are meant to get temporarily once you gain some insanity. I don't remember what that table was called.
Yeah. Is there an insanity table in this game?
There is a. We can borrow from Warhammer Fantasy. I have a table.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do that.
So it would be roll a D100 would be it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll D100 and see what happens.
All right. By the way, should I add a specific hot pink gas grenades cause this effect? 92.
92. On this it says, this would be sort of a lingering effect that happens later that could be really funny. I'm going to shoot this over to our GM and he'll see if he likes it.
Yeah, let's see. That'd be funny. Maybe. That would be interesting. Although I don't know why like the Escher grenade would do that, right? So I found another good interesting madness table and
all right, yeah, we'll go with that.
So Sator, you're locked in this in this spire, right? And the gas grenade goes off and you're covered in this like hot pink gas and you start to like freak out, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen. And like nothing seems to occur. Your flesh doesn't like peel off your bones, and you're able to see yourself in like the reflective like metal paneling. Like you're not seeing any like boils grow on you or anything like that. but like you feel your mouth begin to swell, and you are immediately starving to an incredible degree.
That's probably even worse thing that his inside is a fucking colony of insects.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
so the insects
that's all
inside
he's
your
got.
gut are
That's all
like
he's got in
scurrying
there.
like motherfuckers.
And your brain begins to like come up with any possible way of getting food in your mouth or anything in your mouth. What do you do?
Go to whatever the closest possible thing could be considered food and eat it, probably.
Yeah, so you have like you have your didn't you say you have your colony of bugs there, right?
No, that's literally his insides.
Oh, his insides is a colony.
Yeah,
of bugs.
he has a mutation. His stomach is basically these bugs. So if anything, they're probably squirming like bastards right now.
Yeah. So they're sending signals to your brain like feed us immediately. And so you like, you stumble over to your like workbench, and you don't have like food up here. You just have like all your like weird drugs and chemicals and shit. So you just like you catch yourself like picking up something very dangerous to drink, that would probably like burn the hell out of your throat.
I have a question.
Your hand is like shaking while you're holding it.
My question is, could I try to do like a willpower test to resist this and try to quickly go somewhere where to get some actual food?
Make a difficulty 4 willpower test to like set this thing down.
Would it be willpower or conviction?
Willpower, I think.
All right. I did get that's 3 successes.
Yeah, you do get a glory, but you're failing right now.
No, yeah, I do get a glory because it is that.
It's difficulty 4.
I'm going to let me check what I can use glory on real quick in the info tab.
I mean, you could re-roll.
You can't do anything with
fail.
glory post facto. You can only do stuff before the roll.
You can spend your other wrath point to reroll if you want.
Spend 1 glory to add +1 dice to a test after any rerolls.
I usually do the glory that you have to spend it before you roll. I don't think you can spend it after you roll to add dice.
I'll just I think that I'll use my wrath and roll 3d6s then.
Okay.
Because you just need 1 more to pass a 4. Oh, there you go.
Okay,
and
so you managed to like set the flask down.
I'm going to shift that to say that Sator manages to resist for quite a bit until he actually gets to some food, or
We'll like reduce the number of like events I was going to give you by 1 with that shift, right? So so that's that. So there's one more event I was going to have you do anyway, which is so you managed to like set this away and like step away from your workbench, but you're still like starving. So you like run over to the door that's been like sealed shut, and you're like slamming against it to open it. And standing on the other side is your dark Eldar friend, and she's like looking at you through the panel, like questioningly. And I'm sure you've given her an order, like, don't open this door under any circumstances while I'm in here, right?
I mean, not really.
And now you have to like counter that command with her.
Sator would have given a command sort of like that if he was like, hey, in the warp, never open this, but she might confuse it that way.
Right. So go ahead and give me a like a leadership check to get her to open the door for you. Otherwise, you're gonna like hurt yourself on smashing against the door.
Well,
yeah, great. So you get another glory point as well.
At least we're getting glory out of this.
Yeah, totally. So she opens up the panel, and you manage to like run to your like your storage region for the spire, and you just start stuffing your face with food. So that's what you're doing for the rest of the battle. It's just like stuffing your face. She like and your friend is just like sitting there like looking at you wide eyed like what the hell is going on?
Poison grenades.
You managed to like get that out like with a mouth like full of like crackers or something or like ration sticks.
Don't ingest the poison, neon pink poison grenade.
So you're just like stuffing your face with ration packs.
I just have to imagine one of the Escher girls like running to get to her station or something, stops by here, looks at you, and said, "Boy's got the munchies." Just keeps bolting up.
Basically, she's like, "Oh, we accidentally set up the munchie grenade." That was supposed to like make their enemies like start to cannibalize themselves, right?
By the way, can I know that down that now fucking hot pink grenades do that?
Well,
Or
that's
That
not
hot pink
necessarily what they
grenade does that.
always do in the future, right?
Yeah.
They could do other random stuff.
yeah,
I just wanted to give you like random grenades.
they always color it whenever. It's fine.
I like it random. I like it also like it might just like roll randomly on the madness table. That's what the pink grenades do, but that'd be funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so that was a good time. All right, so getting back to the situation. Yeah, that ship like exploded, and you guys have like, and you hit the button, and you're flying towards this this moon that's sort of falling apart. So we have like this like, we have the moon with like the sunlight sort of reflecting off of it, and then like like a half of it is like for falling apart, and there's this huge debris field of like reflective moon rock. And your ship is like flying at max speed towards this debris field. The other ships have like changed their trajectory to match yours, but you're going to make it there before they get in sensor or in short sensor range.
Gotcha.
So you make it to this debris field, and like your sensors are all like bugging out because of it, right? Like you'd see like the solar system like sort of like flickering in the hologram. The enemy ships are sort of like bouncing all around the system as like the sensor signals like bounce off of like different rocks and stuff, right? So your ship's like not able to make sense of the sensor readings. It's sort of like as I said, like the bogey signals are like bouncing all over the solar system on your hull panel.
So
and,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need like their exact location. I just need them to like. If my crew can figure out like if they're between two of like the asteroids, and if I can like smush them between two asteroids or like kill one of the ships by doing that.
Yeah. So the idea.
I don't know if that's possible.
So the idea you have is to like hide your ship, right? And then the sensors aren't going to work because their sensors aren't going to work because if your sensors work, their sensors work. So you'll have to like get a visual confirmation of them, and then be able to do something with them at an extreme short range, right?
Yeah,
that's basically what the premise would be.
So
to make that work, I'm going to need a cunning check. Yeah, cunning check.
Okay, cunning.
But with not with fellowship, it'd be with intelligence, right?
Oof.
Yeah, because you're not trying to like trick somebody with words. You're trying to trick somebody by outsmarting them, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to have to make a cunning check of their own to counter yours.
I'm probably going to spend a glory point to
get an extra die.
I mean, if you want to take a couple, I wouldn't mind for this.
How many? Yeah, I'll take two.
We have
two
three, right now. So
2 extra dice.
Mm-hmm. So that'll give me a total of 8 dice.
And they're not the smartest nor the most cunning. So their commander's only going to roll 5 dice. So difficulty 5.
And you got 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh wait, no, that was
a good roll.
Geez.
Yep. Okay. So 8 dice.
I think I'm actually also going to spend a ruin because I rolled a 1 in there. Let me see what ruin does exactly real quick. Okay, make you roll. Ruin. So I can reroll all failures. That's only 2 dice. That's not that interesting right now. Okay, so I'll just leave that.
All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yep,
and then
you
I have
got it.
2 more
You're
die.
just doing hit and run, basically.
Yeah, so that's 7 successes, and that's basically to like. So if you'll let me like explain what I have in my head, like I send out like a scout ship, like a little like skimmer, to like basically like play like scout for me, like to be my eyes. And what I do is I like basically like once I have like an idea of where they are, I like boost an asteroid, like a big rock into like the enemy ship to like crush them in between like 2 asteroids.
Yeah, that works. So you can shift that 6 as well for extra effect.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you get like 2 attacks with this asteroid off instead of 1. And it actually like will work.
Yeah.
Instead of like me like weaseling out of it with some weird thing. So you've hidden your ship amongst the rocks, and you know you're sure that these people are hunting for you because they're fucking horn worshippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got like a scout ship set up, and you've got your like Blackstone like pressed up against an asteroid to see if you can like it's basically like on the backside of an asteroid, and then you can like hit the thrusters and like push your ship into the asteroid, and then it will like crash. Is the idea that you're going for, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So the one of the Corn ships comes by. It's another Iconoclast destroyer. It's the same as the other ship that you were seeing before. You hit the engines, and the asteroid hurls into this Iconoclast, and it's a huge asteroid. It's like it's enormous. So you actually have to press the red button again to get the thrust you need to like push it. So in order to press the red button again, I need you to make another Orchitect test, Gizmek. And then I need everybody to make athletics checks again.
But also, Sator would at least keep the grenades out of his inventory right now for obvious reasons.
Well, no, you're currently in like the storage like area with all the food, right?
Since I had like knew this was the plan, could I have said that my seatbelt was on? Or is that?
There's no seatbelts in the 41st millennium. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Let's go!
Yeah.
Everyone's like standing on like thin railings, like across like 30-foot drops.
Oh, I only got 3 with that.
Millennium. Yeah, so three. I think 3 is good enough to get the button to work, but there'll be an effect. I think like the button will break when you slam it this time. Like it just literally shatters. But the engines do fire for a moment, enough to get the asteroid running. Holtz, you're gonna start to like spill over the like gantry over down into like the pit, right? So you'll fall like a distance if you don't want to re-roll that or whatever.
When you say a distance, are we talking like a survivable distance or like?
Yeah, I mean you'll fall like, I don't know, 10 or 20 feet or something like that. I don't know what fall damage is like in this game.
In a Rogue Trader, that will probably kill him, honestly.
I mean, I have.
Probably gonna be. It's not gonna be like instant death. Because like you wouldn't build your pit.
Yeah.
Instant death. We fell off of it.
I have 6 wounds. I'll take it. I only have 1. We only have 1 wrath point between the 3 of us, so I'm gonna keep it for right now. I'll take the damage.
Oh yeah, you used another one, didn't you?
No. Well, I used 2 glory, but like we have 1 wrath point and 1 ruin point, so I'm gonna keep the reroll for right now for something more important.
Yeah, and everyone has to do the athletics check again, right?
Yeah.
So I think you take like D3 wounds from falling.
All right. Cool.
Let me double check that. It'll be 1 plus D3 mortal wounds. That's what it will be, because it'll be 5. You're falling 5 meters basically.
Okay. 1 plus D3 mortal. So I can't even reduce them. Got it.
No, it's mortals. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm at.
So you take 4 mortal wounds. So like you land on like a metal cognitator probably, and you like dent it as you land because you got like a bunch of metal equipment in your like belts and shit. Your pistol probably like smashes against your thigh. You're all bruised, right? And you like crash down to the ground, and everyone like rushes to your aid and like tries to like pick you up, basically.
Get off of me, you!
Sir, you fell, sir.
I'm fine. What status update? What happened to the asteroid? What happened to the ship?
Yeah, so like all you're seeing in like the view screen is like the asteroid like moving away from you, and then and then you see like a white hot flash, like sort of in like a fan like around the two asteroids that smashed together, right? Because like the asteroid like defended you from the like the reactor going off from this other ship. And everything like rumbles again, but not like as much as the freaking button does. I also need a athletics check for Gizmek and Sator as well.
Yes.
Hey, we got one success this time.
That's fine.
Let's
That's
go.
fine. You're good. That's fine.
Ooh,
We got a complication.
Five successes, but a complication.
Also, you can shift that for a glory. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can shift that for a glory. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I think the complication will be that you're like, you're about to fall, and so you like basically try to break your fall with your power claw by grabbing something, and you just like slice it in half. So I'd like to think that like this panel that you're standing at is just like destroyed, which has a bunch of buttons on it. Like the flame turret button, for example, was on there. Like basically like all the defenses inside the ship are like deactivated.
Gosh darn it! He just shoves a sticky note on it that says, "I'll fix it later."
Yeah, so there's just like wiring and panels and like sparks flying. Take one mortal wound as well from like all the like panel ship blowing up on you. So you're like covered in like bruises and burns and stuff, but you managed to keep your footing.
Sator just keeps himself fucking stuck to the food pile.
Yeah, no, so like you're like wedged in between two boxes of rations, and so you don't really feel it. You're just consuming as fast as your body can eat it.
The jolt just like knocks him into a face first into like a box of Twinkies.
And for Ira, she's an Eldar. Her athletics is already.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll for the NPCs. Like some fall over, whatever. Some take damage, but no one's gonna die.
Even then, if we went through all of the NPCs, it would be hell.
Yeah, exactly. Like I only want the PCs to be on camera. Like in the background, we see people falling over. Right, we see like one of the Clan-ish people like knocking off her own grenade and like a bunch of like polka dots like appearing on her skin. Right.
Oh no.
We see like a bunch of like orc panels like just flying off of the walls all over the ship. We see Mechanicus like trying to like scamper around like dogs on like a hardwood floor with their like metal talons or whatever to like
one
keep
of the Mechanicus is somehow in zero gravity.
I just
floating through space like woo.
I just imagine the one like girl that they put in like installed on the ship just like sliding slowly across like one of those fucking little boards you use in gym classes, just like sliding and spinning.
She's
very
on like
slowly.
a dais, right? That has like wheels on it. So like her dais just like shifts and like she moves balance a little bit and it just goes back to like her normal position, right? And like all of like the little like cameras on her like head are like shooting all over the place, like taking pictures. Yeah, she's got like a worried look on her face, like she doesn't really know what's going on, but like something weird's happening, right? Like the whole ship is listing or something. But yeah, so yeah, you've blown up the ship, and the asteroid that you were like hiding behind, like you see like a bunch of fractures like appear on it, and then it just sort of explodes into like a million pieces, right?
Nice.
And it starts to like cut into your guys's void shields. So your void shields are like down to like 3/4. And suddenly the sensors come back on, and you can and you can see exactly the position of the other ship, which is right above you. So like their superstructure is like matching yours.
In space, there is no up, which is why Holtz specifically says they're beneath him. We'll insist on this point.
Well, you're beneath them at the moment, so
That's
based
all a
upon the
matter
art
of
gravity, at
perspective.
least.
Holtz believes that the world is 2D.
And so that ship, you immediately can see in your view screens now that the sensor's activated, is a little bit larger than the other ones, and it is a murder class cruiser.
Lovely.
And its superstructure is like upside down, so it's like looking at you from it's also looking at you from above. But that's where all of its macro cannons are. So like it just turns all the cannons up and starts firing it down on your ship. What do you do?
Well, let's see. Given like the situation, like, is there any cover from like the exploding asteroid, or did that just obliterate our cover?
Yeah, all your cover got obliterated by that ship exploding. Basically, all the asteroids flew in every direction, right? From the shockwave.
So
you could take like evasive maneuvers.
No. I think what we're going to do is like tilt the ship up to like reduce our like profile to like be fired at the same time, like basically like ram the other ship essentially.
Oof.
Amazing. Okay, cool.
We could also try shooting at them at the same time because
exactly, like that's also where our guns are.
And Gizmek would get ready to board the ship.
So we're gonna do like an opposed command roll again. You're damaged, so you're gonna be at +1 difficulty, whatever he rolls.
Okay.
And he is pretty good commander, being the admiral of a murder class ship here. But it doesn't roll very well, so I will use a ruin point and reroll those failures.
Oof, the ruin.
Yeah, man. But he still gets a complication, which we'll deal with in a minute.
But that's
3, 4, 5.
So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We need to pass an 8.
So you need an 8 in order to beat it because you're injured. You're not feeling so hot.
Do you want to spend both of your glory?
Yeah,
or both of our glory?
I have to spend both of the glory.
Yeah, go ahead.
9 rolls.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have to spend a wrath point on this too, but
we'll see.
You do have a wrath just in case.
Yeah. So I'm gonna spend.
Also,
I have 2d6.
Roll the 2d6 first.
So that's 3 successes so far.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. So and I need to roll 5 more d6 because I'm spending that wrath point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that succeeds just barely.
Yep, it does.
I think that brings you up to 9. Yeah.
1, 2. Yeah.
Oh no, you beat it because you got. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I do beat it.
So you get 9. So you do beat it. So
and they also have that complication
through his incoming fire, and the ship like bobs and weaves and then slams into this cruiser, and you know everything flies in every direction again. So I need to make athletic checks for everybody again, but difficulty number 2 this time because it's like even more jarring.
I get 1 success.
I got 4 successes. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. You get a glory.
Actually, I get us a glory too. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So Holtz and Sator fail. So Sator, you like one of the like boxes of food in the closet, the pantry, just fall on top of you. So you're gonna take 1 mortal wound from that.
Oh.
And then Holtz, you're still like on the command pit, so you're not gonna like fall or anything. You will like slam into like a cognitator, and so your like command checks are gonna be like at a -1 for a while.
Your voice comes in. It's like duck goose. Your voice comes in all squeaky for a little bit.
That's fine. I'm sorry. Because my next order is for Gizmek to board and take care of it.
Already on it.
Do a command test to get everybody ready for Gizmek to initiate the boarding action, right? Because I get the skilled workers going.
So
Or-
leadership, and then
Yeah. So take
You
a
roll-
whatever you roll, and then -2.
My question is, should Holtz be the one rolling, or should Gizmek roll intimidation?
It'll be because Holtz is the one that like setting up the order, and then once Gizmek has started the boarding action, then he'll take control, right?
so
All right.
so when you say like -2 die, so like
So it's
I
not going
normally
to be
roll
-2
7.
die. It'll be like less 2 successes. So you'll roll like a normal command check, and we'll take 2 off, and then we'll
Okay.
see how well that roll goes.
So I have a complication. So 0 successes and 1 complication. I have
Incredible. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so you throw out the command, Gizmek. You get like a fuzzy order to board. What do you do?
Push it! It's time! Alright! Yet another red button on the side jumps in the pod and like closes it up.
Yeah. So, well, at this point, you don't need to use the. You don't have to use the.
Wait,
back
we're
No,
running
no, no.
into
This
the
is a
ship.
this is a different red button for the rocket.
Yeah. So, if anything, everyone's gonna jump into like lighters, like transport ships, right? Because you guys are like super close. So that would be the way to go for the boarding action. So Gizmek, you and like your like personal, what's your like boarding crew look like? What do they got going on?
Probably picked most of the crazies.
Yeah.
Like basically anyone whose response to Gizmek wasn't to cower in fear, he would probably bring along.
Awesome. Okay, so you have like there's like a squad of mercenaries you guys picked up on the in Gilead. They like they posted themselves as like a boarding crew, right? They've got like meltas and flamers and all sorts of like crazy special weapons. And they look like tough as nails. They've got like, you know, they're not wearing any shirts. They're just wearing pants. You know that style. They're like shredded out of their minds. They've got like sunglasses and like cut beards. And they get onto the lighters, right? And Gizmek, you've got like your own lighter with your own like crew of who are you taking with you? Are you taking both of them, or are you just taking what's her name?
Pippi.
Pippi, I mean, if she's healed up enough,
Oh yeah, she's
definitely.
fine. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
you get Pippi, and you got
Grismo is not really a combatant. I would basically leave him behind on the tech ship to continue doing like engineering shit for Holtz.
like I think Grismo, if anything, would be like the pilot of your lighter, right? Does that make sense?
If anybody is doing that, yeah, maybe Grismo.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Gizmek.
No, it's
to
up to
be
you. Do you want
honest,
Grismo doing it, or do you want like
Gizmek
nameless
is
pilot number
is
two?
honestly dead set on using this fucking torpedo thing that he made.
Okay. So instead of getting on a lighter, which is probably for the best, Gizmek like loads himself into this macro cannon. And the macro cannon like swivels as the ships are like ramming into each other and just fires at point blank range.
Yep, basically.
Awesome.
So give me
needed
an
this.
Orky tech test to see how that cannon firing goes.
Alrighty. Oh wait, I don't actually have this accurate. Let's see. Fuck! Complications.
But it's 1,
Complications.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah,
Shift
so
any of those 6s.
it definitely works, and you can definitely shift one of those 6s for glory if you want, and then the other one for like additional success. So basically, you can end up anywhere in the other ship that you want to be.
Oh, I was thinking. I was going to suggest that the extra success. I was going to say like more damage, but the complication is that I'm nowhere near I want to be.
Okay, you want to do that? You want to do that direction instead? Okay, cool.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you it just fires at point blank range, and you like slam into the superstructure. Like the camera goes like whizzing as your bullet like travels into the ship, and you're just in some like maybe you're in like where would you be? Oh, that's funny. So like you pop out of you like open up the door and you pop out of the canister and you like slam to the ground because you're just like all dizzy, right? From the fact that
That was your ride.
well, you didn't take into account the fact that like these macro cannons are rifled, and so the canister's spinning at like 1,000 RPM as well. So you're just like insanely dizzy. And you're just like surrounded by combat servitors because you like ended up in like the battle arena.
Hey.
Hey, that's something where Gizmek would want to go.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's where I would. It's exactly where I would want to go in reality, but out of character, he was probably out of character. I know it was probably aimed for the like bridge.
Yeah, it was aimed for the bridge, but like the ships are like colliding with each other, right? So you couldn't really aim it very well. And so you ended up in this combat, and also like the room is like spinning around you, right? Like it's like it's like that meme,
yeah.
like I need to get off this ride, please. So like the room is spinning around you, and you see like a robot with like 5 arms, all of them covered in like chain axes, like coming at you, right? And like there's a bunch of robots coming at you from all sides, and they're all like spinning around in your vision.
Hey, let me start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, lots. Oh shit!
Yeah, there's definitely at least 4 combat servitors. You're not really sure how many there are because your room is spinning in your head.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna have that fight in a minute. And on the other side, as the troops were preparing to take off out of the launch bay, like a whole bunch of like chaos fighters like launched from the other ship and like just destroy all of the transport lighters, and then a whole bunch of like chaos transport lighters land in their place.
Oh god damn it!
And you can see like on the cameras like you guys are being boarded as well simultaneously. Another thing about that was the complication with the skilled crew was that the skilled crew wasn't that skilled, so we'll get rid of that complication. And then the other complication for the leadership check is that because of the ramming, the void shields on your ship flickered, and when they did so, on the ship, 2 massive enemies have appeared out of thin air. There's like a crack, like a lightning, like whip crack sound, and 2 hulking badasses of insane levels are in your on your bridge. They are Terminator. They are Terminators. They've come to terminate you.
Oh, that's not good.
Yes. So let me see if I've got like a cool picture of them to show. Let's see if there's any good like concept art to show. So yeah, that's a pretty good like cartoony version of it. So there's 2 of these on your ship. One of them is slightly larger than the other, and he's got more spikes that are made out of bronze. The other one has a massive axe that's probably like the size of one of your cognitator banks, and the first one with the bronze accoutrement has got powerful lightning claws that are like sparking against the bridge.
Oh boy, lightning claw and big axes.
And I think we will. I think we should maybe conclude here and let me prep the enemies for this because I didn't think you guys would actually have this happen.
Oh boy!
So
yeah,
we'll have the combat happen next time. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end for today.
I definitely need those wrath points.
We're going to have a Harlequin randomly popping up in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, and we'll do a reset on tokens as well.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely like a new encounter.
Yeah.
I totally agree with this sentiment of not being fucked on wrath tokens for the beginning of this fight.
Hopefully, he's
because
supposed to have 3
we've got
because
Gizmek aboard a World Eater's ship on his own, basically.
With Pippi, but
No, Pippi didn't
She's
go
fine.
along because she didn't. So no way she survived being fired.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's probably fighting aboard the ship right now. So it is Gizmek alone on that ship, and Holtz staring down 2 World Eaters Terminators aboard his bridge.
Sator is fighting the toughest battle.
And then Sator stuffing his face up at the top level. He's gonna have to deal with other shit too in a second.
Hey.
Actually, I'm gonna go back and re-say what goes on. Only 1 Terminator shows up on the bridge, and 1 appears up in the Navigatorium deck.
Nice.
Right in front of Sator as he's like fully eating. Like there's like a whip crack, and you see like this crazy being with a giant axe.
I just imagine
starting
this
to
really
carve into
deep
you.
Astartes voice pointing at whatever he has in his hand. You're going to finish that.
She's gonna finish that.
Lovely.
No,
I'm here for a different kind of food.
Sator's gonna feel like no one stands between me and my food.
Oh
boy.
all
I
right.
mean, he is a
Sick.
All
world
right.
eater.
Sick. Okay, neat. All right, so
All
we'll
right.
do that. We'll do that next time in 2 weeks. I've got a Grim Dark Future tournament next weekend,
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right.
and then we'll have an additional combatant helping as well.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Harlequin.
get
He's
to
gonna
introduce
pop out,
our
probably.
lovely new player.
Yeah, he's basically gonna pop out of hiding, probably like in the middle of this battle as
Well, I
things
mean,
go
it would
crazy.
make sense.
Yeah, probably helping out Holtz because Sator also has.
Yeah.
Sator is a navigator and has Ira.
Yeah, I also only have 2 wounds left.
Yeah, Holt is like almost dead, so it's
Yeah.
probably good idea.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sator just had a fucking box fall on his head.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he had a
All right.
box fall on his head.
Let's wrap this up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
dropping by another episode of Wrath and Glory. This has been a glorious time. Haha, get it?
Fun. It was a fun session.
Oh, yeah. And I've been Triskia's Gizmek Skrapmangl da Gear-Turnah. Joining me has been my pal Marius playing Sator Eycanse and Reaper Joe playing Holtz. And we also have our lovely GM6.
Right on.
So
See you guys
we
next
will
time.
see you guys on the